Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
Raghee, we heard that there was a problem about a week or two ago that some of the brokers didn't have those new dollar quote currencies. I think that's all been fixed. So I see that Paul and I'm not sure how many other attendees had a problem because I did take a number of questions on that. But Paul, that should be fixed. You should be able to trade AUM or NDO or GBP, any of those. That should be fine. And you might want to call your broker, which in this case is E-Trade, but no matter which broker it is, those are available from what I've heard.
Okay, thank you. So there you go, guys. But either way, if that ever does happen and you're setting up a trade, don't forget, you still have the old tried and true. You can still take advantage of the price move. Make sure, you just understand the direction. So yeah, a lot of choice here. All right, so any other questions here, my friends, as we wrap up our talk here? Let's see. In regard to trading the underlying, I trade the chart that gives my, yes. In terms, again, speaking specifically of options, for any of you who have seen me speak in other venues, non-options trading, you know that I'll look at, say, 15, 30, 60, even sometimes a 5-minute, but that does not apply to my options trading. I think options from a perspective of taking advantage of psychology, 240s and dailies are usually where I find the best success. So that's what I'll focus on here for my options strategies. But thank you for that question. So if that's, let's see, do I have any guidelines for how far to the money I would go? I don't want to necessarily exceed recent highs and lows. And a lot of that, how far to the money is going to depend on how much time I've given myself. So consider if you are not going to pay too much for time, you have to balance that. Okay? I don't mean to be elusive or vague about that, but the truth of the matter is if you have a lot of budget and you can buy more time, certainly you can go for a further out strike. But if you don't have money for time, I think you're going to have to allocate that a little bit more towards the strike, because you do want it to at least head in that direction and have maybe an off chance of reaching it. And I was mentioning before, probably 80% of my options trading, it doesn't even go to the strike. It gets close, gets in the zip code, but it doesn't have to go to the strike. You just need to start heading in that direction. It's more of a directional game. And it's more of whether the market is speeding towards your strike or whether it's kind of putzing towards your strike. So it's really a direction game and a velocity game, really is what it is. Will it get moving towards you, and how is it moving towards you? That's the volatility part of it. So remember, if you got the budget for more time, you can be a little bit more out of the money. If you don't have the budget for more time, don't be so unrealistic about being so far out of the money. Okay? There's no magic level, my friends. It's really going to have a lot to do with your budget. A lot of it's going to be how much you can spend on the option itself, and that I can't tell you. That's what's so great about options trades. There's a lot of flexibility here, gang. There's no right or wrong here. I'm not saying that at all. There's no right or wrong here. It's about that's what's so great about options. What are you willing to risk? I'm just advising you on what I feel the best timing is, and then where you're better off applying your buying power. That's what I'm trying to advise you here on. So, my friends, I guess we're going to wrap it up here because, quite frankly, my voice is starting to go. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to visit me over at Twitter and or even catch the next speaker. I mean, there's some great every one of us has a different paradigm on the market. I mean, options are just that flexible. So please take a look, look at some of the other speakers here. Got a great roster of speakers here at the ISE, and learn another angle that might add to what we've discussed here today. So thank you, everyone, for coming, and a big thank you to ISE and to Steve. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.